Hey guys, welcome back. It's Maverick here with another episode of Yuukoku no Moriarty. So, last episode we finished the entire Irene Adler arc with a nice little James Bond reference at the very end there that was half cringy and half very, very entertaining, right? I'm not gonna lie, I did get a good laugh out of it. But anyways, so we got that done. I presume we're entering a new arc here, and I had some questions at the end of the last episode, right, where I feel like Sherlock is being way too much of a puppet, being controlled by the Moriartys and all those around him, right? He's really not living up to his Sherlock name, so hopefully that can be a little bit alleviated by the future. I don't know. For now, though, let's just get into the next story. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Alright. Make sure we are... Oops. Turn on the volume a little bit. Alright. I think that should be fine. What's this? I was gonna say, is this like the prostitute street or something like that? But, they seem rather well dressed. Oh, just it. Oh! Is this, Jack the Ripper? I do believe that this is the mystery of Jack the Ripper, eh? I don't know. Yep. There we go. Although this has nothing to do with no, Sherlock Holmes and all that. But actually, has there any? I think only in derivative works, right? It was never in the original novels, right? I can't remember right now. But yeah, Jack the Ripper should be something that's reality, whereas Sherlock Holmes is fiction, right? I feel like there must have been some sort of derivative work that that combined these two. I mean, it makes a lot of sense, right? The unsolved mystery versus the greatest detective. It's just screaming for a collaboration. I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? The instant I saw prostitutes and whatnot, I was like, okay, this is probably something to do with Jack the Ripper, or at least very inspired by it. But in the newspaper, they just directly said it out loud, right? And apparently the Moriartys are interested in this as well. So how exactly is this going to go? Mr. Bond. I mean, she's definitely not exactly. Although, honestly, like, why does... I don't think it really makes much sense for Irene to have received all that much hand-to-hand combat and, you know, all that other stuff in training and not though. But at least this does answer the question, right? She is going to be a recurring character. Oh, so they're going to have to team up. Here's one who's actually using his brain. Really? A bank heist, eh? I mean, they can't really show their faces to do. Wow. Survey the situation. Survey the premises. Yeah, so it looks like he was the one who went out and did the assessment of the situation. Act, right? You're probably going to rely on her acting skills, I'm assuming. Really? Can someone tell me, like, why she has such advanced hand-to-hand combat abilities? For being an actress? Well, I guess the acting did work in the end, but still. Right. Congratulations on the promotion. No, I mean, I can get the end there, right? Thinking of doing something like that. I just don't get how she got those moves. Hmm? Okay. So, all part of a larger plan, or whatnot. Hmm. Okay. 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 Okay now. That's now how Jack the Ripper. That's not how the origin of Jack the Ripper went. Like, if there really was an esteemed dude called Jack the Ripper, they definitely wouldn't sully that name by pinning that on another person. I'm pretty sure it wasn't the serial killer himself that called himself Jack the Ripper. It was the media that put that on him, right? I mean, if I'm wrong, you do let me know. But as far as I know, it was the media that gave him the name Jack the Ripper. Oh, actually, huh? Could he actually have called himself Jack the Ripper? I'll look it up later. It's like, because of the Jack the Ripper. Mm-hmm. And of course, William knows. Okay, so I guess the rest of the story they've already told her. Really? A former close quarter combat specialist becoming a butler? Oh well. Alright, so he was hiding himself? I would have actually expected them to use, like the Boer War instead. As a reference. Right, so I received close combat training. Close quarter combat training. Well, not Moron and Fred, though. Well, why don't you push Sherlock to do this? Isn't that what he's supposed to be doing? Isn't that why you propped him up in the first place? Well, I guess they're probably going to want to try and maybe they're going to try to help uncover some things first, and then pass on the information to Sherlock. Why would Scotland Yard be tasked with that? So Lestrade is trying to go find the killer himself. Maybe enlisting the help of Sherlock? Which is probably the glasses dude. Alright, so they're a group, eh? Alright. I'll see you guys after this. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about this episode, right? So starting from the first half, which is just more of a small test for Bond, if you will. Well, it is what it is, right? Getting to know and understand how the Moriartys and their affiliates work and whatnot. The thing that I'm fixated on, though, is still, again, you know, Irene Adler, sure, she's a great actor and she knows how to seduce people, right? I'm not really sure I buy into this whole hand-to-hand combat training and infiltration techniques and even, you know, killing techniques and all that kind of sort of stuff. I mean, I get it, right? She's assuming the name of Bond now, and, you know, Bond, James Bond, the agent, of course, has got to have some moves to him and whatnot, right? Needs to know how to utilize weapons, needs to know how to assassinate people, and so on and so forth. A spy, if you will. But, I do question, though, like, how exactly Irene got all these abilities. You know, how did she get them in the first place? I think it would have been far more realistic if instead, you know, the fighting was left to the others, whereas Irene was one more who was there to maybe distract the armed guards, sorry, not the guards, but the armed robbers with her acting and whatnot, as well as putting the spin on the very end there to, you know, pin the entire thing on the police constable there. I think that would have been a better division of duties and whatnot. I mean, come on, there's people who know, who are combat specialists, and then there's people who are disguise specialists. Why can't Irene actually be a you know, an acting or an infiltration specialist instead, right? They gotta make everybody have all the same fighting abilities, eh? But anyways, that's just some minor gripes and all that. I know we're not supposed to take this thing too seriously. It's really tongue-in-cheek in a lot of stuff. I mean, the fact that they're naming a character James Bond should be evidence enough of that, right? And also bringing Jack the Ripper into the Sherlock Holmes world and so on and so forth. But still, you know, it wouldn't be me if I didn't at least point it out and gave it a good retort, right? Anyways, continuing on with this entire Jack the Ripper thing, so I did go back and check, and indeed, Jack the Ripper, you know, the name Jack the Ripper was really never left behind in any of the murder scenes or whatnot. It was really some anonymous letters that were addressed to the police claiming to be the murderer, that and some of them had the signature of Jack the Ripper, or I shouldn't say signature, right, just called himself Jack the Ripper, right? And then later on the media got a hold of it, and then, you know, the whole thing kind of blew up, right? But it's never been really proved that the murders were made by this Jack the Ripper person. Did they even think that, and indeed, like the anime is implying here, whether or not they are actually the same person, right? It's really hard to say here. So yeah, I mean, sure, they want to introduce this Jack character and use it as a sort of excuse as to why the Moriartys would be involved into this case, right? Otherwise, it is kind of weird why they're involved in this, right? They have a clear goal that they are trying to go towards. Sure, it's not like they don't care about the common folk and whatnot, but they have their own, like, they are laser focused on what they want to do and what they want to achieve. Something like this, honestly, you have the city resident great detective Sherlock Holmes already. Leave this stuff to him and then just go do like your grand plan and whatnot, right? So the introduction of this Jack character would allow them to have this excuse to get involved with this, which I guess makes a lot more sense than anything else, right? This was a direct how can I say it, request from one of their former or, you know, I can't really say former associate, one of their associates and friends and mentors and whatnot. So it makes sense that they would get involved in this way. And I am expecting Sherlock Holmes to be involved as well. Lestrade probably ran off to find him, and come on, it's Sherlock Holmes. There's no way he's not going to be involved in something like this. So we're going to see them both cross paths once again, right? And also, on a side note, I'm not sure how I feel about them also portraying Scotland Yard, you know, the Metropolitan Police here, being so corrupt. I mean, certainly they received a lot of criticism in their inability to solve the Jack the Ripper case, but it was never for the lack of trying, right? I don't think I've read anything that suggested they were deliberately stalling the investigation or whatnot. As far as I know, they actually spent a lot of resources and manpower on this case to no avail, right? Certainly, maybe you could portray them as inept and maybe inefficient and so on and so forth, but you know, making them out to be like entirely corrupt and whatnot and not caring about the common folk because they're poor and living in slums and so on and so forth, I think that's a little bit much, right? But it does kind of go into the ideology of this anime, so I guess that's why they're trying to push this narrative forward, right? And obviously you got a few good cops, if you will, such as Lestrade and all the others, who are more so fighting against the system and still having the qualities of a good cop in it. You know, I get it, right? I get it. This is quite common in a lot of traditional Japanese cop dramas. In fact, you know, you always get this case of this loner, hard-boiled, you know, this rogue or maverick cop that's trying to go up against the system that is corrupted and very bureaucratic and so on and so forth. So I guess it does have its ties with traditional Japanese culture and how they look on these kind of things. But still, I just want to point out, and you know, as just part of a discussion and whatnot, that the actual Scotland Yard, as far as I know, actually took great interest and really poured in a lot of resources in order to try and solve this case to no avail, right? So we can't really blame them for that part. So, and that's pretty much it for this episode, right? I mean, there's not really too much else to talk about here. Let's see who is going to be able to solve this mystery first, right? I have a feeling it's probably going to be William Moriarty, but we shall see. We shall see. Alright guys, thank you, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.